Welcome back to Momentous Struggle, a Star Wars Shatterpoint podcast. On this week's episode, we will talk about the end of an Ahsoka journey with Aubrey. We ended the journey yesterday during our time that we got together to play. So we're gonna talk about that and see what Aubrey's final thoughts are with this journey that he took with Ahsoka. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. Aubrey, how are you doing today, sir?
I feel a little bit like Ahsoka, always the learner, never the master, since she, never actually became a Jedi Knight, despite being one of the better Jedi examples of Jedi behavior in all of the series. I will continue to enjoy the meme of Ahsoka's like, I can't hurt the clones. They're our friends. And meanwhile, Yoda's got like a 30 kill streak against his squad. He's like, oh, you gonna kill me? I'm going to kill your entire bloodline. So that's why.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, no, I think we had yesterday was a soft opening for a new store in town, and it was packed in there. I went over and checked it out yesterday, which was pretty. I mean, and it's one of our stores locally that was just pretty much primarily a TCG store. Opened up a second location with more of a focus, still on TCGs, of course, because that's their moneymaker. But they wanted to add tabletop wargaming into it, and they. Like one of the stores that we talked about previously on the podcast, Imperial Outpost, that closed down, they bought a ton of their like fixtures and tables and stuff that they had there. So like it was really weird walking in and seeing like all of the fixtures from that store still there. And then there was all like 7 of the tables that we used to play on at Imperial Outpost. They are using now at their location. So there's like 7 tabletop tables. So for like Shatterpoint wise, you can get 2 mats on each one of those tables, which means you could get like 14 tables or games going simultaneously for a skirmish level 3x3 skirmish level games, which means that's a 28 player event. I mean, and if you needed to bleed over there, I set up on where their card tables are, and there is enough space to sit there and put a 3x3 mat onto those tables as well. So you could easily run like a 28 to 32 player event at that location if you wanted to push it and stuff like that. I mean, that's really pushing it. I mean, even here in Arizona, and they're way on the west side. But I liked the location. They had 2 separate sides to the thing. There was like 2 separate rooms. One was their gaming area. The other one is their actual retail space. So I'm really excited to sit there and see where that goes. And I've already talked to the ownership group a couple of times about potentially running Shatterpoint stuff over there. I walked in and he was one of the owners was immediately like, "Hey, look, did you see? We got Shatterpoint stuff for you." So he was they're wanted to focus on bringing us specifically in and having us run some events and stuff like that. And I know a couple of MCP players live very close to that location as well. So I think it's going to be a good thing. It's weirdly really close to another game store called Hobby Forge. They're like a half a mile away. Which we'll see how that works out. I was surprised on that, but that Hobby Forge store has like very, very limited tabletop space. Like it just doesn't have the space to accommodate a big event like what we would hope to have. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, if I remember right, doesn't the other store, it doesn't have hardly any tables in it, right? Isn't it kind of more of a store?
It's more of a store. They have like a couple tables set up, but like it's really only enough space to play something like Spearhead or Kill Team. It's not a very large space. I think maybe you might be able to get like 2 or 3 tables worth of Shatterpoint in. So it's like I said, it would not be ideal for running an event that we would hope to run with 16 players or something along those lines. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's interesting, like the locations and how they worked out and everything along those lines. So and I don't think it was maliciously done in any way, shape, or form, because I know there's locally there's been rumor about that. It's and I don't think that was the case.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure it had to do with what this always has to do with, what properties are available and what's the rent. Like,
Hmm.
come on,
Yeah.
everybody. Nobody's like, I'm gonna spend more money at this location just to specifically stick it to,
Oh no, there was.
like,
I was
come.
talking with one of the other owners, and he was saying, "Oh, there's another location they were like really wanting to get that they really really liked, but because they're not a corporation, they couldn't rent in that particular like location, and it was actually more affordable for them to rent in that location, but because they weren't a corporation, they couldn't do that." I'm like, that's dumb. I'm like, especially because
That's
this is like one of the largest stores in the city, but whatever.
Well, right. Like this isn't even like a new. It's not like they're new at this.
No.
Draw was one of the first places I went to when I moved to Arizona. When I was like looking for a shop
Yeah.
because I was based in Surprise. Like you know what. You know what grinds my gears, Todd? And I know this has nothing to do with anything. No, forget all of your conspiracy theories. They specifically went to mess with me because where this store opened up is literally across Grand, which is a major road runs through all of the Phoenix metro area. It's a freeway leading to Vegas. Eventually, once you get out of the city proper. I would have lived like 2 minutes from the store when I was living in Talia's parents' house. 2 minutes. I could have had a commute to a game store that I know would be fun to play at. Like literally one red light. I need one red
Right.
light. Get across. Boom. Done. I would have loved that. And I mean, so it is close. It's definitely still closer to me than even Gamers Guild. So probably will include that in the roundup here. But no, it's just Arizona. We've talked about this a bunch of times. You can't go about 10-15 minutes without running into some sort of hobbying store. Like there's like that we have so much demand here because of the heat in the summer that like remember right next to Imperial Outpost was like that RC shop. Like that's all they
Hmm.
did was like RCs, and I was always like, how is that shop still alive? But now that I've been in Arizona a while, I'm like, oh no, people are just they need their indoor hobbies. So
Hmm.
there's just that much demand here.
And one of the selling points that they had when I was talking with one of the owners, he came up to me when I was talking with our friend Jeremy, and he's like, "And we just had two new AC units put in." It's like that's a huge selling point in Arizona. It's like, yeah, because you need those AC units that can sit there and put up with the demand of not just the Arizona heat, but a bunch of nerds like us sitting in a room playing games and getting for a long time. So, yeah,
Oh
I
no,
was, yeah.
remember Big Human Gaming? He kept having to get on his the case of the I don't know the property manager or whatever because
Mhm.
the AC unit in his store was not working very well, and he's like, no,
Right,
I need this to work. My store
right.
only works if I have cold space for people to come play games in. Like
Yep.
that's 100 levels gaming here.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, so I mean, I was excited to see a new store open. I'm excited to see what they do, and like kind of the journey that they have with that because I think it's going to be good. They talking with the ownerships, they're very excited to sit there and open up to the tabletop gaming space. So I'm hoping it's going to be something good. They had like 3 games of Flames of War going on when I walked in, so it was pretty cool. I think they're really going to actually actively support the communities that they have around them, which is always good. But other than
Wait,
that, I mean,
what's Flames of War? Is that like a bolt action or a historic? Sorry, I just don't know
it's
that
a
one.
historic. It's a World War II
Okay.
historic, and it's mostly tanks and like planes and stuff like that. So it's a World
Okay.
War II. But yeah, it's bolt actions like the troops. Like say bolt action would be World War II at like Legion size, like where you have
Mm-hmm.
squads and stuff like that. Where bolt action's more like I would say more like X-wing ish, where you have just the tanks and stuff like that, but World War II historic.
Oh. So Flames of War is like a slightly bigger scale, but only in the sense that it's vehicle focused, not
Hmm.
troop focused.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. All right.
So yeah, so they're like I said, they had like 3 games going like that, so they're definitely actively going to be supporting the community and everything along those lines, which is very cool. I'm really excited for that piece of it. So we'll see what happens there for sure. But what? So have you been up doing anything exciting, other like hobby wise or anything like that? I'm sure we're going to talk about a specific game we played yesterday, but
Yes, yes. So since we're doing YouTube stuff, I get to show off. I made more of the little cliffs that I was using on the table, except I made them blue because I got that blue table with that blue mat, and I wanted to give it my own little flair. So I made a bunch of different sizes of those foam cliffs, and I specifically made one. Okay, all right, because I know this has been a point of contention with this one table that I have with these cliffs. I made them slightly smaller than those cliffs so that they don't, so that I can use them in deployment without it like causing too much grief. Also, I made one that is the exact footprint of, you know, that little like brown gothic sector building that everybody was like, you can't shove off of it because of this like 5 millimeter gap over here, and I'm like, oh, okay, fine. So I made a base for that is the exact same size as the building to fix that problem. Yes, Todd. The theme is as I'm working on fixing some of the little things that have been like points of contention on some of the tables. Also, like putting those together wasn't that hard. Didn't take that long, and I'm pretty sure that I can like turn the one table I have from 2 tables into 3 tables. Basically, my hobbying has been a ton of like 3D printing and getting tables planned. Like, Jerry sent there was like a Dathomir file that had like temple ruins and a platform and stuff. Oh my god, it is so many pieces to put it together. I'm never getting one of these sets ever again. Like just building one platform had like 11 or 12 different pieces to print out, and I was like, oh my god, the ADHD baby can't handle this. The pigeon's already lost. I just noticed 2 of the pieces are sitting to my right. How did they get there, Todd? They're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be over there. There's too many pieces to
are you
that set.
sleepwalking? I think you're sleepwalking is the problem. Maybe you're just like wandering around, like playing with like 3D prints in your sleep.
Yes, maybe. But that's gonna go in with the like Jedi Temple ruins. I guess I don't know what theme because some of those pieces look very Dathomirian, but I was thinking more of like a Jedha Korriban thought process. Like, so I don't know. It's going to be whichever temple ruin planet that you want to imagine. That's what I'm gonna go with on the table. It's gonna have a reddish look to it. Also, I'm trying to figure that out. What's with all the Mars planets being like ancient burial grounds of Jedi and Sith? Because we've got Jeddah, we've got Korriban, we've got Dathomir. They're all like reddish desert planets. Who decided that? Did everybody just have the same thought every time they were planning a world that had to do with like ancient grounds of
It's
the
always red.
space wizards?
Always red. Yeah, dead space wizards are always red. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I was just figuring it out because I was like, okay, well, is this table Jeddah? Maybe. Is it Dathomir? Yeah, maybe. Is it Korriban? And I was like, wait, those 3 planets are all like identical to each other. like, wait a minute.
If it works, just
I'm
keep
gonna
on going with it.
I'm gonna anger some nerd because they're like, well, actually, yes, I know the differences between all 3. Shush. But it's funny that aesthetically, I can make one table fit all 3 of those planets.
Yep. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. Yeah. No, I mean, hobby wise for me, I'm trying to finish up my son's MCP stuff so that I can focus on more Shatterpoint stuff because I like boxes of Shatterpoint stuff I want to assemble and everything along those lines. And I like weirdly enough, I was actually like side note, I was going through my comics. I have like multiple comics signed by Scott Snyder, and like I found like all these comics that I have like that
Wow.
I'm like going through. Well, and for those who don't know, Scott Snyder is like mostly a DC writer. He's written a lot like mostly Batman. He wrote a little bit of Superman and stuff like that. But like I found like a Swamp Thing issue 1 signed by him, a Dark Metal or Dark Knight Metal #1 signed by him and Greg Capullo, and then this Action Comics 1000, the Superman one, signed by him as well. I'm like, when did I do this, and where did I like? I'm like, so yeah, no, but like, because as I was going through like some of my boxes and stuff, I'm like, oh, look, comic books, and found those. But yeah, going back to painting, primarily, just like I said, trying to finish up his MCP stuff so I can focus on mine. So I have like 2 more models of his, and then I can like, then he's got his fully painted roster. Uh, but yeah, no, like that's been it. I'm really wanting to finish like some of this Legion stuff that I have, because I've really been having a fun time painting the Rebels Legion stuff that I have. But that's been about it. Especially because like we've been gotten on like the stuff that I've been really liking playing is already painted. Like I was like we went up yesterday and I played Mother Mall or Mother Mom. No, Mother Mando. I can say it right. And
Other M.
yeah, but playing Mother Mando, and I've been having so much fun playing that I really haven't moved on to anything else where I'm like, I need to paint this so I can play it. I'm like, no, I'm really loving playing Mando and Mom. And so, and of course that, like, I guess that kind of leads us into our game yesterday, because I went to the game store. There wasn't a lot of space, and we were going to meet up and play at that new store, and then basically kind of like pivoted to just heading over to your place and playing a game over there. I don't know, like you're better at talking about like the mission, like our gameplay and kind of battle reporting it out. Do you want to sit there and take the lead on that?
Yeah, no, I can do it. I got you. You'll just have to help fill in the details because I've slept since then, Todd. Like
Of
I
course.
lost so many things this morning. Like you would think getting the official ADHD diagnosis and getting some chemical reinforcement would help, but I'm only 2 weeks into that process, so yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway, all right. So first off, this was yet again like. Okay, everybody. I know you've been hearing this saga of me being on a losing streak, but as Todd pointed out, it's mainly because when I'm playing all these fun games, I have not been playing like my actual premiere list, which is just Cassian PLC with Bodhi and Han and Chewie and Baze and Chirrut and Callus. Like that list is just awesome, and it just sings, and I get to have both heavy hitters. Like I know not everybody likes Bodhi, but like I think Bodhi does his one thing very well, which is kind of give out that little like bubble of protection, and he
Mhm.
just is annoying enough. And you get to take Han and Chewie, so like that's my preferred Cassian list. But I haven't been playing it. I've been playing Ahsoka because I really wanted to crack Ahsoka as best I could. And I mean, spoilers. Obviously, if you paired Ahsoka with Cassian, she would do well. So I'm not doing that because who's doing the heavy lifting in that list? Is it Ahsoka, Todd?
No, of course it's going to be Cassian. I mean, that's I get why you didn't do that. You really want to sit there and experiment with Cassian or with Ahsoka as much as possible. So I get the reason behind why you were doing what you were doing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because to quote myself from earlier before we started, I'm pretty sure you could pair Veers with Cassian, and Veers would do better. So,
Exactly.
sorry, Veers fans. In any event, so I've been trying. Like I know we talked about it on the podcast before. Like I tried an Ahsoka anchor, so I've played her with Leia Freedom Fighter and with Jin and with Hera and with Kanan. Like so, Kanan's usually my preferred pairing with her because if everything works out, she can provide you with the extra force, and in theory, you have enough uh, to do everything with the
Mhm.
specters, except as we pointed out. So let's get into the very first thing of our game. So we're playing on shifting. We've set the stage for you. You know our lists. It's Mando Mom versus Ahsoka Kanan, and I'm playing both teenagers, Sabine Ezra and then Chopper Rebel Commandos. Like nothing crazy there. Basically, I just swapped out where it would either be like Cassian on the other side or PLC or Hera. It just has Ahsoka. It just has Ahsoka in there instead. And you rip Django, send him to the midpoint, because we got the cross for Struggle
Yeah.
1, and I rip Ahsoka, and I was like, okay, I could reserve Ahsoka, but Ahsoka wants to do one thing. She wants to run up and bop a secondary or primary. I have a secondary there right in front of me. I was like, okay, this is what she wants to do. Let's see what happens if I do the thing. So I double jump. I get all the way over there. I wound Django. Oh, and of course, because you're doing double revenge, I was like, well, I could wait and reserve Ahsoka, but then by that point, probably you will have Mother or Mando moved up, and like that's going to make the revenge trigger like even better. So I was like, okay, let's just try it now. Let's see if this works. So I spend 4 force, get 2 of it back, wound Django. Okay, this started the theme of both of our offensive dice were insane for the entire game. Meanwhile, both of our defensive dice were awful for the entire game. I don't know what was going on. It was all gas, no brakes for most of this game. And so I wound Django, get my force back. I'm sitting on, 5 out of 7 force. And the only problem with this is I usually start Ahsoka in her more defensive side, because usually you don't like get to wound with her on her first attack, which is also kind of a problem with her. Like to Tarantino this, we were talking about her at the end, and like she does 8 damage on one side and 7 damage on the other side. Like full stop. That's it. And I don't understand that in somebody who's trying to be a baby Anakin, Todd. Like Because like
Yeah.
I couldn't even wound Django. Like if I full tree on the offensive side, I do not wound Django, right? Doesn't he have 9?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess if you coordinated fire and full tree, sure, right? Like I did have Rebel Commandos for the coordinated fire, but like still, all of that to line up just to kill a secondary at full health. So I had to flip into like her more offensive side, the Jarkai side, to take down Django. And then you just dogpiled on on Ahsoka, because like that kind of is what sort of how the rest of Struggle 1 went, is that like
Yeah.
basically Django got just murdered and sat on top of the midpoint, which is up on a high. We were playing on the research colony set to kind of test it out, see how it played. He just sat there blocking that space for the entire game. He never went again for the rest of the
No, he had one
game.
activation and that was it. Yeah, and then like, well, the thing was, you killed him, and then Mom got her revenge trigger and went 3 down her tree on the Great Mother side, so it was like 6 damage
Yeah.
exposed her, which, yeah, that was something.
Oh, yeah, no, that was the other thing, because I wasn't expecting Mother to be in range, because she hadn't gone or anything, but I think because I had to jump past Django, because like Django was blocking the building from like he was closer to me because the objective was on the very edge, and so I had to jump over Django and land behind him to get up there to attack, and like that little bit of difference in space was enough for her to be in range, and I was like, oh yeah. So my whole plan of, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this now so that the revenge trigger doesn't matter. Like I'm just like, I was explaining my thought process, because then I immediately, like, she gets chunked for 2/3 of her health plus exposed, and she's on the less defensive side, right? And I was like, oh, I don't know if this was worth it. like I did exactly what Ahsoka wants to do, and I think I made a mistake. That's
And she was the only target I would have like going forward too, because like that was your first activation of the game, so that was pretty brutal for you also.
yeah, yeah. So, uh, but I mean, we continued through, and the problem is that it it felt other than like Ahsoka getting dogpiled on and quickly wounded. She also you just shoved her off the point anyway. Like the only reason I took the point was because Jango was dead and Ahsoka was the only one like nearby. But
Mm-hmm.
that like I ended up of like getting Rebel Commandos early enough that I was able to take all four of the points from you. But then you between like I think it was maybe another revenge trigger. I don't remember exactly how this happened, but like a couple turns later, you took all of the points back from me. And like I'm like, wait, I'm like, what is this? Like
You're like,
I would
I was supposed to win this struggle already.
yeah, no, it was pretty. Oh no, it was Han and Chewie, right? Because I think
Yeah.
you wounded the rebel. Yeah, you wounded the rebel commandos. I think with Han and Chewie, or maybe you softened them up and then finished them off. But it was Han and Chewie kind of running up, and they were able to take the points, and then your other support went. This is why, yet again, and maybe I need to keep considering that I really just can't do a full Rebel premiere list is I definitely felt the lack of having one fewer bodies than you. Like not that Chopper went early enough for it to matter. He basically stayed in my deployment the entire game. Like kind of fighting over 1 point with Mando because Mando did what he usually does, which is rocket into your backline and cause problems. But like I definitely feel like even just to jump a little bit ahead because you were able to make the flop really bad for me. Like so you ended up because you took all those 4 points and I just was never able to affect more than 1 or 2 points. I just fell behind and that's how I lost struggle 1. But if Chopper had been a two body support, you wouldn't have been able to stop me from taking that one objective because I also made a mistake. Well, I don't know if it's a mistake. I made a play to try and at the beginning of struggle 2 to take all three objectives, but I had forgotten to factor in like one of it required. I'm pretty sure it required me to take or to make a wound. Like I think I had to wound somebody to take one of the points, but then that caused Mando to jump over to the point the chopper was on and block me from getting the two. Even though I ended up winning struggle 2 pretty quickly and like I was able to just leverage my advantage because I you had a lot of models that are close to being wounded and then I just kind of went ba 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 and machine gunned them down to win struggle 2 pretty fast. But that whole like Chopper is probably a necessary evil to most Kanan lists, unless you're specifically just running the Cassian Kanan with something else that isn't Rebels or isn't Rebel focused. But I hate to say that Rebels need one more support because I know that's kind of what we got the best support in the game, so I need to just shut up. But I just I need them to fix Rebel Pathfinders, okay? I don't even need a new support. I just need they need to get delete that one weird ability that attacks primaries and give them a way to focus. And then they'll be great and I will be happy and the world will be right. So
I mean,
please get
that's
on that
quite a bit.
specifically AMG.
Yeah, on that one in particular, even though you already have, commandos and freaking Baze and Turret, but you need one more.
Please, sir, may I have another, overtuned, cracked support? While we're at it, while I'm making these requests, I'm going to keep Tarantinoing to the end. Why doesn't Ahsoka do more damage? She has two boxes on her offensive side that do no damage. There is a shove by itself at 4 and a reposition by itself at 6 on a unit that only wants to wound things. No, add a point of damage in there. I need Ahsoka to be cracked too. Okay, like can we make rebels make rebels greater again?
I don't know. I think that comment might just sit there and get people to say no, they don't need to be better.
I know. Let's see. So that's kind of how Struggle 2 went, and then Struggle 3. Oh, we got the I did at least because I was so far ahead in Struggle 2, I did have a turn where I unfortunately I had to Shatterpoint right before going into Struggle 3, but I was able to use that to set it up to make things kind of awkward for you. And I know one of the comment configurations is just the straight up and down or straight across. And so like I moved Kanan onto, and I used Kanan to move everybody kind of around and get into good spots. So you were forced to take the straight up and down configuration
Yeah,
because otherwise it would have been rough.
the all center line.
But
Yeah.
then, but then what? I just don't remember. Like you did really good in taking a bunch of points pretty early on in Struggle 3. I'm trying to remember how you did that. Cause I was surprised. Like you scored 4 pretty quickly. I
Well, I
think.
had someone on the center point at that point in time that was awake, I believe, already.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't even remember what it was that I did. I was like, because like in the back, I really always had mom was always kind of just chilling in the back, along with the Night Sisters. Boss, I think it
Oh
might have
no.
been Boss.
You didn't score
Oh, go ahead.
4. You scored 3. No, you scored 3. That's right. I thought you were gonna score 4, but you only scored 3, and then Mando was able to go in with some Clan of Two shenanigans. Um, yeah, that's what it was. That's right. You only scored 3, but then I wasn't able. Like your back point had like I was trying to take your back point with like just Ezra, and you had like Han and Chewie over there, and Mother Talzin doing her thing, and so like I wasn't really able to take your back point from you. And then the midpoint we just kept fighting over, and then eventually you got Mando over to my back point. That's what it was. It
Yeah.
wasn't fast. That's right. You boa constricted me a little bit there. That oh, and then it came down to uh
Ahsoka needing
I
to.
yeah, I had Ahsoka, and she had to get a wound, and then what happened? I'm blanking on that part. Oh no,
So
I just had to spend all of my force to do it. That's what it was. I had to do like
yeah,
5 force
yeah,
to
because
get
she was already wounded. You had to move, jump, do something else. What was the other thing?
the
Because
the
you
double
used
tap
two.
ability because I left. Didn't I
Yeah,
like leave him on 1 or something? Like
that's right.
I
I
yeah.
forget who you
So
were
I
attacking, but you had to attack them and do two and kill them. You were one shy of killing him, so you had to sit there and then I will avenge his death. So, but that cost 3 at that point in time. You got the wound, and this was basically all to flip the center point. But unfortunately, for what happened was that as soon as you got the wound, it triggered
oh
mom, and mom was able to move on to the point because that you had just basically kind of cleared out.
right. No, it was that you had her in reserve. You had
Yeah,
you
I'd
had
had
Mother
mom in reserve.
Talzin. Yeah, you had Mother Talzin in reserve, and the only viable target Ahsoka had was Mother Talzin. So then Mother Talzin was able to just wake up. That's right. And then like we went through the permutations, and the only thing that could have saved me, but we were only like 2 cards into the struggle, is maybe a Kanan activation. But even then, that was only gonna cause me to affect like I didn't have bodies in the right places. Like this kind of goes back to the chopper thing. If I had
Mhm.
been able to move 2 bodies at some point over to the point with Mando on it, I could have just outbodied him, and instead Mando was able to just keep my back point. Like, and I even wounded. Like, this was a bloody game. I wounded Mother Talzin. I wounded Mando. I didn't even want to attack Mando, and I ended up wounding him because of just the way the game kept going. I kept having to attack him with Kanan and stuff, and then yeah, this whole situation might have been Kanan, and what was on top of my deck because I decided not to reserve because I was like, okay, Ahsoka can wound Mother Talzin here, like that can
Mhm.
happen, like because she already had some damage on. Like that was the annoying thing is she already had some damage on her already, and I still wasn't
Yeah.
able to close the deal.
Yeah, she had 5 damage on her. So, like, I remember that specifically. She had 5 damage on her. So, all you needed to do, because Mom is 10, I believe. Yeah, 10. So, all you had to do was do 5 more damage to Mom with Ahsoka, which isn't that difficult. That's
Yeah,
literally three
3
down the
down the
tree.
tree, and
And
it
you
didn't work.
got 2 down the tree. So,
Yeah,
like, you left her
yeah. So
alive
some
on
of the
1.
so some of this is dice, some of this is whatever. But I decided not to reserve Ahsoka because if I didn't pull Kanan, which it was like a 2 in 5 chance, or so
You
maybe
still had your.
Ahsoka was the second card. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it
because
was a
it was 2 and 5, because you could have pulled a Shatter or the or Kanan.
Yeah, and so I was like, no, I'm just gonna go with Ahsoka, try to wound Mother Talzin, and then just hope that Mother Talzin whiffs on her turn. Which spoilers, she didn't, but uh, so so be it. But my top card was a Shatterpoint, and if I had just reserved Ahsoka, I would have gotten my Shatterpoint. I could have sent Kanan over. I mean, Kanan had been wounded again. It was what you got 5 wounds to my 6 wounds.
Yeah,
Like so, like
yeah.
Kanan had been wounded at this point. It still would have been like probably a 3 force ripcord force push. Like it was not. I was not in a good spot, but I I don't know. Basically, well, here. You have any thought? You have any thoughts about the end of the game? Any other stuff before I go back into Ahsoka some more?
Not really. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the list that I play simply because of all the revenge triggers. I even missed boss revenge trigger because there was at the very beginning of the game, because I'm like, oh, I have revenge, and it's like, because there's actually, like, if it's a bounty hunter, I have like literally 3 revenge triggers, which is insane in this list, because I play Mando, Bosk, Han and Chewie, and then Mom, Jango Fett, and the Night Sister Acolyte. So. I think the sheer amount of revenge on that kind of just throws you off a little bit, and I think they're like it. I don't know. Maybe that was a little bit of a hesitation for you of what you wanted to do and everything along those lines. So that might have been part of the issue. I don't know.
I mean, so I generally have one philosophy, especially when it's like revenge versus revenge. I tend to just pull the ripcord. The problem was partly that it had been a while since I had played against a double revenge Mando. Like I've played against Mando a lot. I've played against Mother Talzin a lot in the past, but I'm usually the one rolling up with like Mando plus revenge trigger, and now I know why I like that so much, because every time I wounded something of yours, I I will admit I was like, "Oh, I didn't think about Mando going over here," or "Oh, I didn't realize Mother Talzin was in range over there." So there was a little bit of like, while I understood that you had options, I
Mhm.
kind of forgot all of the options because I'd be thinking about like one of your revenge models, not the other. And then like Bosk ended up not being able to do his like you had missed the trigger once, but I didn't even think about Bosk. I was like, "Oh, I forgot wounding Django does a Bosk thing too." Like your list, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm the kind of person who's like, ooh, I like everyone else's lunch. I want to try some of that, but like I'm still kind of going back and forth on doing full Rebel Premiere versus like just going back to 2 and 2. And like your list looked pretty fun. Like that looked like some cool stuff going on there. Like any
Oh yeah,
any other
I had a
stuff
blast
on
playing.
your list?
No, I mean mine. Like I think we've talked about it in the past quite a few times. Like I just enjoy playing. Like I said, all the revenge. I was playing like the Mando Cad Bane list with like all the bounty hunters, and I just, if you don't wound with that one, it just kind of falls apart with your force. So that's why I kind of like moved away from it. But I still liked having some of that bounty hunter synergy. I really like playing Bosk, and I like playing the Bosk Han and Chewie Mando piece of it. So that's where I kind of like migrated over to with Mom, and have just really been enjoying that piece of it, and kind of just enjoyed playing still having some of that bounty hunter synergy, but not having that feels bad of, oh, I just didn't get the wound at this time. My dice let me down, and I didn't get this. Now I have no force to do anything fun going forward. So I think that's kind of why I decided to go with the list that I went with. So, but yeah, no, I mean we're here to talk about your Ahsoka journey. So let's find out like more about that.
Okay, so after playing a lot of games with Ahsoka, I say a lot. Like, there are people who have played more games this week than I've played with Ahsoka. Like, looking at you, Dizzard. Um, but I guess okay, maybe not this week because it was New Year's. Fine, y'all get a reprieve. My basic problem with Ahsoka is, and I know we talked about this when she first came out, we're looking at the numbers, but famously, after getting Kiadi completely wrong at the beginning of the year, I'm going to re-emphasize something that even, was it Omnis and Accuser who were just talking about it, I think, in the latest Fairly Reserve, is that, okay, we as content creators, we put out a lot of content. We don't always remember what we say. We don't even already know what we say. But also, sometimes we're evaluating stuff just by reading it very quickly and then moving on to the next thing, and we get it wrong. I don't think Ahsoka was one of those times. Because we kind of looked at her, and I was like, okay, her average hit, we'll say, is 6 damage on one side, or a couple of shoves and like 4 damage, I think is what it is on the other side. That's what you're most likely to get with her. That is not a killing model. I mean, even a Saj, like, I gotta look at, now I want to look at, because she very much reminds me of a Saj. What does a Saj max out at?
Well, yeah, I mean, so Asajj, she maxes out at, like, I mean, she's kind of the same. 6 on one side, on her Jarkai side. If you're on her Akashi side, she can do 5 with 2 shoves and a heal.
Yeah.
So
okay, but here's the thing. Like, yes, so they are very similar to each other, and so that's where they got the idea. Except look at the other end of Jarkai. Her Jarkai does another 4 damage. Like, you can do 10 damage with her Jarkai side. Like, and even the other side, like, if you're going the double shove route, you're doing 5 damage. So, like, in every place, she's doing, like, 1 to 2 more damage with the same amount of successes. So right. I guess my problem is like, I get that Ahsoka is supposed to be like the quote unquote good guy version of Anakin and Asajj, but she just doesn't hit hard enough. Like I don't mind having a beat stick if the rest of my list is very techy, and like you've played against Spectres enough. If not against me, against other people, there's tons of tech with Ezra moving around and Sabine's bomb, and I mean Kanan's everything that Kanan has access to. Like, you have plenty of tech, so there's nothing wrong with having one character that's like, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna beat stuff. But Ahsoka doesn't hit hard enough. Like, nothing she does hits hard enough, especially when you factor in that you pretty much just want to be on her Shien reverse script side anyway because of the access to early shove. Like, you can usually consistently get to her shoves, and like it's almost like they made Ahsoka a tech piece but then stapled heavy hitting aggro attack to it, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing that always throws me off with Ahsoka more than anything is like in her identity, where you want to be wounding primary and secondary units to get the full advantage of her identity, but but in order to do that, you have to get 3 steps down on both of your attacks, because you have to do an attack, then I will avenge his death for 2 force, which allows you to refresh a force and then refresh another force on a primary. So it's like to break even, I guess, on that. But it's like you're breaking even on your force. You're not getting out ahead of that unless you're attacking into a wound, something that's already been softened up for her to come in and hit, and then you don't have to worry about then I will avenge his death. And that's, I think, like the big part of her kit that I that causes issues is like. Like, and I think for you, the issue that you ran into was you had to go with her first activation. Yeah, well, you didn't. You could have reserved, I guess, but like that was your first activation was her, and that really, I think, kind of a caused you to sit there and really not be able to utilize her kit with like into somebody that was already softened up for the hit or something along those lines. You know?
Yeah. And then there's just the other part of her kit where like instead of refreshing another force, you can make a 5-die attack. And like that's cool, but like most of the time you're kind of sending her across the board like a missile to like home in and attack something. You don't always get that extra attack. Like it almost feels like to me like they created her to be this highly mobile. I'm gonna bounce over here and deal some damage and wound this thing that's been softened up, and then I'm gonna bounce over here and I'm gonna go wound this thing that's been softened up. But like, I mean, while you can build a pretty aggressive rebels list, I like rebels are more about being reactive and responsive to like what your opponent is doing, and then you have Ahsoka over here who's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm just gonna run around and bop things and hope that that works out.
Yeah. I mean, so I was wondering. I mean, because like, yeah, I mean, in order to do that double, like use the second attack on her identity, um, you really already have to have her pre up the board a little bit already. Like you'd have to probably almost like use Kanan to move her forward, and instead of Kanan moving somebody else forward, and then you still would have her move probably a jump in there, then doing an attack into something that hopefully was already softened up, or doing her then I will avenge his death. I mean, there's a lot going on there. Like to really take advantage of the nuance of playing her, I think, and and you've put in the reps, so
Yeah, well, no, and that's actually why even though I most often play her with specters, I actually think a Ahsoka PLC list is a little better just because um like I think you're right. Like Kanan, you would want to move her with Kanan, except then Kanan loses his dash because she's not a Spectre. It very much feels like okay, another way that she could have quote unquote been fixed, and I hate to be the one to say this because I actually understand why they did this. She isn't technically a Spectre. Nowhere do they ever call her a Spectre. She does work with Spectres and like works on their team. So I get why she doesn't have the Spectre tag, but if you were going to improve things for her, giving her the Spectre tag, I think you could argue. Well, I'm sorry, if Vader gets the Galactic Republic tag, I'm going to talk about it again, then I think Ahsoka can have the Spectre tag. Otherwise, if she doesn't have the Spectre tag, then why does Vader have the Galactic Republic tag? Thank you very much. Anyway, moving on. I got on my soapbox for 1 minute. Uh, so there's like little levers you could pull with her, but honestly, what I think is on her Jarkai side, she should just have a damage on every single box. Just every box should have a damage, and that puts her up to like Ahsoka level, or not Ahsoka. Too many A's. Asajj levels of damage output, and then I think like things would be better because like the rest, like her stats are all fine, like honestly, I would say Jarkai should maybe be bumped up a dice. Just like if you're gonna make an aggressive monster, make her an aggressive monster. Like lean into this. Like do it. Like there's anyway this is basically these are basically my thoughts on Ahsoka, and I'm probably what I'm going to do next is I've really been wanting to go a little Sithy. I want to try the secondary Vader from the other half of the Ahsoka box and do some Inquisitor stuff and maybe uh, lean away from the Spectres for a minute and just kind of go with my full Cassian premier list. Like I know everybody loves Kanan with Cassian, but I think I might still stick to my PLC list and set the specters down, the rest of the specters for down for a minute, and try out some Inquisitor action.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always nice to kind of get a like a. I think a lot of people have talked about this on different podcasts about getting like a palate cleanse and playing something different. I think that's always fun to kind of rotate out what you're playing, not just play the same thing over and over again. So yeah, I would definitely say that that's kind of the something worth looking into. Is you've played a lot of Spectres, a lot of Ahsoka. We just change it up a little bit, play something a little different, and go from there.
Well, and there's two versions of Inquisitors that I want to try out. Like again, I guess I really am just copying you all. It's all right. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery because when I was playing against Z at Bogler's house, I also liked his list. He was playing Inquisitors, but with GI and Jedi Hunter Vader with Bosk. You both have sold me. I need to get Bosk on the table. I've got him assembled. He might have primer on him. I don't know, uh, but I gotta get the moral of this story is everybody put Bosk on the table. He felt like a very
He's
good
fun.
three.
Yes, he is fun. I mean, like he's very niche in what he does because he's a bounty hunter, um, but he is a lot of fun to play. Just like his ability where he can heal all of the damage unless you strain him is secretly really amazing because it's like, well, if you don't have like any, like you had attacks where it was like with the commandos, I think, and I'm like,
Hmm.
well, you can attack into him if you don't kill him. You really need to strain him, and they didn't have strain anywhere on him. So it's like, well, you got to really hope that you can put 8 damage onto him, or else he's just going to heal everything off. Which adds like another question to the person that's on their activation of, am I going to be able to do what I need to in order to make him difficult? Because basically, yeah, you remove all of the damage and all the conditions from him if you don't have strain on him. So you could condition the crud out of him other than strain. And if you like say you sit there and do 5 damage pin shove or something along those lines, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just remove the pin and the 5 damage because you didn't strain him, and I'll go ahead and do what I was doing before.
Yeah, yeah,
So he's
and
fun.
yeah, and just looking at because I'm probably because it's me. I have to do it. I'm probably going to try out Krennic to in order to make get the point costs for secondary Vader. I know you lose the like stormtrooper ability that he has, but I want to keep it in the family. I'm gonna play Empire first because I know a lot of people to make the Inquisitors work have actually been running Cassian over there. But if like Cassian
Mm-hmm.
Kanan or Cassian PLC ends up being the other half of my list, I don't want to do that. And I'm kind of with you with Cad Bane. Like I know you could put Cad Bane in the list. I Cad Cad Bane has burned me just one too many times on what you were talking about. The whole like if you don't get the full effect of his identity, you feel it immediately. And I know people
Mm-hmm.
have not been as high on Krennic lately because I guess like the stormtrooper synergies are not enough. But like Inquisitors, I'm kind of assuming without having a lot of experience with them, and I know Chris probably doesn't agree with me here, but I think they lean a little more aggro than control. I know you can play them in a controlling way, but I think the goal with Krennic is to just kind of like he's going to take pot shots and soften up things for the Inquisitors to go in and wound. Because like at least that's what I think is going to happen. I don't know. I need more data. Everybody, don't. This is me speculating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have to have the stormtrooper synergies with him. I mean, it helps because of this deploy the garrison. So, I mean, you do lose his active ability for sure if you don't bring him with that. I don't know. I think Moff Gideon is great with the Grand Inquisitor with GI. I think that might be a good way to go. I mean, the easy answer always is him or You could go with like Iden, but you're not going to get Iden synergies if you're going to be playing a full Inquisitor list. But I mean, in all honesty, I would probably say Empire wise, Moff Gideon's probably your way to go if you're going to pair with GI.
Yeah, yeah, and this is more of me wanting to try out specifically Fallen Master Vader. So like I am contorting.
Yeah.
I know I keep contorting myself because from what I understand, I remember Chris talked about this a little bit. You can just bring ISB agents, and then yeah,
Yep.
you open up you open up list building, and now you have options with better primaries. So this is probably going to be my next deep dive. I feel like I've played Rebels enough. I know their play patterns. I know what they can do. And how many times have I said that a full Rebel Premier list feels like one model short? I feel like I've said it a
Yeah.
lot, Todd.
You have quite a bit, and it's true though. I
Yeah.
mean, and I don't think we're at that point. It's like I look at, again, I'll go to like say MCP. You're not one model short in pretty much any affiliation over there. But that game's been around for 6 years now, compared
Right.
to MCP's been what 2.5 years, or Shatterpoint's been 2.5 years. So you're gonna be short. I mean, as time goes on, that'll probably flesh itself out even more. Uh, but right now, yeah, it's gonna be that way. I mean, because let's and there's other units, say, or other factions tags. I'm looking at you, separatists, that they're more
Mm,
than just one unit short. So there's and
yeah,
so I
I
don't know if
know.
Rebels is going to get that love.
I know. I'm over here complaining. Well, why don't I have one more so that I can have four fully tuned lists? And separatists are like, I can barely get to three complete lists. Be quiet, Aubrey.
Right. Exactly. So I think that's kind of the big thing there is that, I mean, and like, I don't know, with things coming out in the future, man, Padme and Qui-Gon might be a way to go here pretty soon with like, and that might be something where you're going
Yeah.
to go back to, because there's all sorts of other things to explore, I think, coming up this year too. So, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Ahsoka just falls a little short from what I think, when you're looking at a fully competitive list. I mean, she seemed fun to play, for bouncing all over the place, like swinging her lightsabers all over the place and really like putting some damage into people. But at the end of the day, competitively speaking, I don't know if that's she's the best thing to be doing. But she sure looked like fun to play. I mean, as far as like her play patterns and everything.
Yeah, I guess my final thought on Ahsoka Fulcrum is I am, of course, restricting myself to this like full Rebel premiere list. It is entirely possible that you are just supposed to go balls to the walls, full on aggro, and her best place is just Cassian, Bazin Chirrut, Callus, Rebel Commandos, and then another aggressive secondary to taste, like maybe Ezra or something. I don't know. But like I'm sure there's probably a list where you can eke out the last percentage points, or maybe she's not even supposed to be Rebels. Maybe you're just supposed to pair her with something crazy like, I don't know, Vader Jedi Hunter with an extremely aggressive list and just go all out. Like I do not want to say that I have explored every last conceivable thing, because there might be a scoundrel list that she belongs in. Maybe her and Cad Bane are supposed to combine their powers to create something great. I don't know. I'm not saying there isn't more depth here, but if you're trying to stick with her into Rebel lists, unfortunately we have too many other good options. Like if you're talking just strictly Rebels, PLC, Cassian, Kanan, like, oh look, I just named three primaries that you should be bringing if you're playing Rebels. Oh look, what happened? That's already three. If you're just doing a 2x2 with Rebels and
Right.
something else, she's not even in the top three of considerations on my list. So I just want to play with Ahsoka. I remember, Todd, I remember when I was angry when Ahsoka got introduced in the Clone Wars movie, because I was like, wait a minute, Anakin can't be a master. That's the whole plot of Revenge. Like, everyone else was mad because there was a teenage girl in their Star Wars show, and I was over here going, wait, how does Anakin not be a master in Revenge of the Sith if he has a Padawan? It took him 7 years, or no, 6 years. It took him 6 years to answer that question for me, but I was still like, wait a minute, this is... I was over here objecting to the lore implications, while everyone was just mad there was a girl running around with lightsabers.
That's on brand for you, though, Aubrey. I mean, you getting upset about the lore more than anything else is pretty on brand for you. So no, I approve. I approve.
She just has become one of I think a very beloved character from this era of Star Wars. Like, I'm looking forward to the second season of Ahsoka. I want to see where they take Baylan Skoll's story and this whole flip-flopping of now Thrawn's back. Like, I hope we get to see some of the original cast, or not the original cast, but the original characters. They really need to just pull the Band-Aid off, but I can't imagine Thrawn comes back and Luke, Han, and Leia are just conveniently on the other side of the galaxy. Like, come on.
I know. It's frustrating that they've kind of moved away from those characters. I don't think they're going to come back to them, but it is what it is, type of a thing. I think we're just going to have to deal.
I know. Oh, sorry, I've completely derailed our conversation. Anyway, the point is, if you want to play Ahsoka, play Ahsoka. Just bear in mind that these are the pain points and the problems I've been dealing with, and I am welcome to be proven wrong on this subject. Please go for it. But I'm feeling a little angry after all this, so I'm gonna go hang out with the Inquisitors.
That works. That works for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you did the experiment and you kind of figured out, you gave her a good run and everything along those lines. So, yeah, maybe there's something out there for her. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if we're going to be able to find it, but, we'll see. But so, yeah, I guess that's a good place to close everything out. As always, I want to thank all of our listeners for everything that you guys do, all the support you guys give us. We definitely appreciate it. If you want to support the podcast, you can definitely do so by becoming a patron in the link below. That definitely helps us with doing all the wonderful things that we do, doing the podcast, going and doing the streaming and stuff that we do. If you don't want to do that and that doesn't work for you, I definitely understand. But rating, reviewing the podcast on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on, or if you want to give us a like, thumbs up, follow us, subscribe on YouTube, we definitely appreciate that as well. Any support that you can give us, we definitely appreciate. Other than that, as always, again, thanks for listening, and may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.